Alright, let me figure out how to let people know that I'm on this live stream. I have no idea how to freaking do that. Alright, let's try this. Doesn't help that my computer is incredibly slow today. Content. 5. Wow, so I got 2 of them going here. Delete that one. Alright. Hi, Lysandra. Sorry about this. I thought I was doing a good thing by getting the live link set up ahead of time, and apparently that just made it more difficult. So now I'm trying to figure out how to tell the people in this other live stream where I am. Okay, I think I figured that out. Then I'm getting some kind of funky message. That my internet connection is not great. Okay. They shouldn't make this so difficult. They really should not. Okay, so I'm deleting the other one. Okay, and then hopefully people figure out what's happening here. That's so annoying. Because like normally I can figure the stream out if I'm just setting it up like an hour or less in advance when I'm already at this computer, and then I just leave this window up. But I tried setting it up on my phone early this morning so then people could see it and plan ahead and see how that went. Oh my gosh. All right, so I'll give it a minute, and hopefully everyone who is on the other one can figure out what's happening, and I'm going to try and move my computer and hope that that doesn't create another problem. So, there we go. Just trying to move this so you can see properly. I'm probably going to end up like looking into getting some actual equipment for this, because I'm just using a webcam and whatever built-in audio it has, which is not ideal. So, all right. So while I'm waiting, I'm gonna go and hoop something, because I found this really cool design on Etsy, and I just realized I forgot to link it. Every week I forget to link something. All right. So I'm making this really cute little purse thingy in the hoop. So I will show that in a second. Let me just get this hoop on here. All right. Alrighty, so, okay, so let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm all flustered now, plus I'm not feeling great in the first place, so that doesn't help either. got the COVID vaccine, and I don't know if it's that I'm having a side effects from, but I've been feeling really queasy since I got it a week ago. But I hesitate to say it because I don't want to discourage anyone from getting it, since, it's very important and all. All right. Hi, Delia. Thanks for letting me know. So I'm going to go ahead and get started then. So hi, everybody. Thanks for bearing with me. Normally I don't have issues with technology, so that's unnerving. But anyway, the first of hopefully the last thing I forgot to link to in the description is this. Oh, it's probably not the vaccine. Oh man, what is it? I know I'm not pregnant. I'm getting flashbacks from like 17 years ago when I was pregnant, and this is how I felt. I'm like, well, no, that's not possible. That ship has sailed. But anyway, moving on. Obviously, that's not what you came here for. But anyway, isn't this adorable? I was browsing Etsy a few days ago, and sinuses, allergies. Yeah, I know I do have allergies really bad, but I don't normally get nausea. I don't know. So thank you. So I found this little design. Is this not the cutest little thing ever? I need to go on. Let me just click on my Etsy screen over here, because I need to at least tell you guys the name of the shop where I got this from. Otherwise, it's not really all that helpful, is it? Because if you have an embroidery machine, it looks like I think you need at least one with a 5x7 hoop in order to make this. And if you do, you're probably going to want this. Here we go. The shop name is Thread Mode. Let me pull it up. Here it is. Here's the digital file. They might have a smaller version on here. Let me get this clicked on. I don't know what's going on with my computer too. Like our internet connection, it should be fine, but it's not. Okay. So I'm going to put the URL to this listing in the chat. Yeah, it did. It showed up. Okay. So, and wow, my memory sucks today. Thread Mode is the name of the shop. Okay. See, I had never heard of this shop before, and I always thought that I knew pretty much everyone who did in the hoop embroidery designs, and they have like 18,000 sales. So I don't know where I've been all this time, but yes, look at this. How adorable. They have a bunch of other similar type things, like little bags and cases, which I tend to really like a lot, because I don't know, just like things that are functional. But yeah, in the listing, you'll see they show them storing all kinds of little things in here. This would also be cute for like an American Girl size doll. But this is the large size. And what they did is they have it set up where there's, I downloaded the file this morning. So, and I have a second one in the smaller size set up over here. So I apologize in advance. I'm not an expert on this particular project yet. But anyway, you can put all kinds of stuff in here. Let me see what I got. Let me see what fits in here. So this is like one of those little Bath and Body Works things. Yep, this fits. Awesome. Let me see what else I got in here. Here's one of these little, one of those EOS lip balms. Let me see if it closes. Oh, it does. All right. So yeah, so you can get an idea of what fits in here. There's a couple of USBs that you could probably fit like a dozen of them in this thing. But when I make the smaller one, I'm going to see by comparison what all fits in here. You could also fold up a little mask and keep it in this. And then I'll go ahead and make a full one and like go through the whole process, but just like an overview. These are little 6mm rivets up here, and then these are either 9 or 10mm rivets on the sides, but I mean, you can use whatever you have on hand. That's just what I had. I bought some of these tiny ones for a doll jacket and wanted to use them up. But it's really cool. So then you have a cam snap or whatever snap you want to use for the closure, and then I just use some pink acrylic felt to line it with. And you probably don't have to line it, like if the back side of your vinyl looks fine. This is more like a canvas. This is from My Punk Embroidery, and I know I do have them listed in the description, a link to them, because I use them all the time. But this is some kind of specialty vinyl. I just had bought a sheet of it just because I wanted to see what it was like, and then love this. All right, so let me go over here and then move this so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I think this should be okay. All right, so, all right, now what color should I make here? How about I do some teal? All right, so let me show you. Let me turn off my sewing machine first. All right, so there's actually, oh yeah, you can sew vinyl on this. This is considered a semi-industrial. You just want to have a Teflon foot so the vinyl doesn't stick to the foot of the machine. But yeah, I've sewn vinyl with this a bunch. So this design, you can see that the handle at the top is a separate piece. So they do have a file where the handle and then the main body of this are all in one. But for me, it ended up being the really big, like, I don't even know what size it is. It's like a 7 by 14 or 12 hoop. And I don't really have stabilizer that big, I don't think. So I'm going to do the straps separate. So this is just the main body. And if I had been planning ahead better, I would have stitched out the placement stitch in something other than white so you could actually see it, but I apologize. I feel like I'm having like brain fog or something. But I feel pretty confident that once this is all done, you'll have some sort of idea of what I'm doing. So yeah, let me just cut off a little bit of that. So this is just marine vinyl. Don't remember where I got it. Probably My Punk Embroidery, because I don't buy from Joann's anymore. But also marinevinylfabric.com. If you're looking for, I think I mentioned this before, just like solid color marine vinyl like this, and you want like a larger quantity, sometimes marinevinylfabric.com is a better deal. All right, so I just cut this. And the thing is, like within the hoop embroidery, you're trimming it after, so your initial cut, it's just, it has to be big enough to cover the entire placement stitch. Oh, hey, Dory. Sorry about that earlier. Glad you found me. So anyway, so this initial cut can be really janky looking like this. All right, so now I need to get a piece of felt for the backing. Oops. All right, so I'm just going to use this teal, which it does not look very teal on this screen. All right. Hopefully you can hear okay. I have my air conditioner on because it's Florida, and then I have an air purifier on down here. Oh, thank you, Shayna. That's very sweet of you. I just had that super chat turned on and thought I would give that a try. Well, thank you. What is it, the afternoon? Yeah, it is the afternoon here. Gosh, I'm a mess today. All right. So anyway, I'm just going to grab some regular old clear Scotch tape, and then I taped the felt to the back of the hoop, and then I'm just going to set the vinyl on top. I don't bother taping it down, but it depends on your machine whether or not you should tape it or not. All right, so I'm just going to put this back on, and I'm just using white thread for the whole thing. All right, and then hitting start, and it's going to do most of the work for me. All right, and then I've got my little scrap, so after this I can make the little top handle. All right, and then for this, I saw this after I put it on, but before you rivet it on, you can attach like a little swivel clip, or you can put something on after the fact. I'm going to probably try to wind a key ring around this since I didn't think of that, but on the next one, I'm thinking I'm going to use a swivel clip. Yeah, that's true, Shayna. Yeah, you can pretty much sew anything on this thing. The only time I ran into trouble is I think I was trying to sew 8 layers of a really thick, like faux tooled marine vinyl from Embroidery. That was a bad idea. I ended up having to use upholstery thread and sew it by hand, but it was like one little seam and it was hidden. But yeah, pretty much anything. Yeah, this thing is great. So many people, like, I think they see professional bag makers using an industrial sewing machine, and you really do not need one. I think maybe if you're selling the bags for a living, there's some advantages to it, but then you got to use like special needles, special thread. So there's more costs involved than just upgrading to the industrial. So I think they use like nylon thread. Don't quote me because I'm not like obviously not a huge expert. I'm just telling you from experience that you can do whatever you want on this thing. All right, so I did the little outline, and then the last step is marks where you put the snaps and the rivets. So I'm just going to do that stuff real quick, and then I'm going to show it to you then. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be making a lot of these. I think they're going to be really handy. I think I'm going to keep this one though. It's so cute. Rainbows are happy. I love them. I wrote stuff down too. I put a link this time. I think it was like the third week in a row that I almost forgot to put a link to pixiefair.com in the description below the video. Oh, except you know what? I don't think this, yeah, because I had to make a new live stream. I will amend the video. I'll amend the video afterwards. I'm sorry. I'm a mess. I'm going to figure this out, though, by next week. Alessandra is saying if you did craft shows, I bet they would sell really well. I think so, too. Yes. This sort of thing, and I've done a lot of craft shows in the past, obviously not recently because yay COVID, but this sort of thing, because it's unique and it's good for impulse buys, because I'm trying to think what I would charge for this. Probably like somewhere in the $10 to $15 range. I think probably, I don't know. I'd have to think about it a little bit more because I'm kind of my first instinct is I'm thinking like $10, but then I might not be thinking of everything that goes into this, and I want to make sure, you know, as everyone should, that they're accounting for all their costs when they're trying to sell something, so you're not like losing money. I mean, charity is nice, but not when you're trying to pay bills. And I think we've all been guilty of that in the past, or even in the present, if we're selling stuff where we end up undercharging. So value your labor, ladies. Value your labor. But yeah, this would be excellent. Plus you can make these in a whole bunch of colors and have them all lined up. They make a really nice display. Be really eye-catching. Yeah, love these. All right. Oh yeah, so anyway, Pixie Fair, I've mentioned they do that freebie Friday, but it's only for 24 hours. This week they had 2 freebies. Oh, let me get this out first before I tell you about that. One was, what was it, crochet. So, I mean, I put it in my cart and I checked out and everything, but I didn't print it because I don't crochet. Oh yeah, Dory is saying that if the line's on this one diagonal, yeah, that would be cute. That would be. Yeah, like if I end up getting a roll of that, then I would have enough, yeah, where I can make it go on the diagonal. That'd be awesome. All right, so this is what it looks like without the strap at the top. So I'm just going to tear off this. The reason I'm using this weird stabilizer is because it's left over from when I had the piece of crap red line machine, and the hoop that I use the most often took this 15 by 15 square stabilizer, so I'm just trying to use it up. So that's why. But anyways, this is what it looks like minus the top strap, and then here's the back. So it just depends on what kind of embroidery machine you're working with and what settings you have. Like mine has these little inch-long threads every time the machine stops and ties off. But I know not all machines do that, so it's just going to depend on what you're working with here. And again, if you're just joining us, like this design can be made on a hoop that's 5x7 or larger. So it's most embroidery machines. I know the smallest is 4x4, and I didn't, unless I'm missing something in this, or maybe they have a separate listing in the shop. I didn't look for a 4x4, but I'm not sure. All right, so you can see we got this. I'm just gonna clip off these threads really quick, otherwise they're gonna bug me. And then I'm gonna cut this out. So have any of you folks done it in the hoop embroidery who are watching? So if you haven't, then I'll try to give you more information and try to recruit you to the dark side. Seriously, it's fun. All right, so I'm going to cut around the edges, and if you're not familiar with in the hoop, I'm going about okay. All right, Lysandra, let's see if we can recruit you into all the joys of in the hoop embroidery. Yeah, so we're going about between like 1/8 and 1/4 inch outside of this stitching line right here. I try to go for 1/8, but it's a matter of preference. As long as you're not cutting off the stitching, and as long as it is somewhat consistent, like pick a width and stick with it. And then let me try to go like this so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just doing like some real long, smooth strokes. Vinyl is not as forgiving as far as going back and fixing any jagged edges as something like felt or cotton or whatever. But I don't think you could make this with just felt. I don't think it would be sturdy enough, even if you use like a wool felt, unless it was like really, really thick, but then you'd have a hard time finding that. So that reminds me too, I might end up not selling the acrylic felt in my Etsy shop anymore, because it's just it ends up being so expensive, like the upfront investment on it. So I buy from National Nonwovens. That's the only acrylic felts that I would ever buy, which makes the decision even tougher because I don't use felt that much anymore, but when I do use it, I want to use good stuff and not the crap from the big box craft stores. Like if you're using that and you don't know any better, try this good felt and you will be just flabbergasted by how much nicer it is. It's really soft, it's thicker and sturdier. Oh, Shayna, you made this. Oh, yeah. These little things for the holes is just to show you where exactly to add your snaps and rivets. But if you didn't feel you needed them, then that's fine. You definitely don't have to have them. But anyway, yeah, the shipping cost on like felt is really bulky, and a lot of times the shipping is like almost as much as the items themselves. So it ends up where I'm just kind of like sitting on a lot of money that I've invested in inventory and then waiting for it to sell, and then it's like the profit is not really that great on it. So I don't know. Yeah, like and the hoop designs they just get better and better every year. I mean, there is sometimes like a lot of like noise, if you will. Like for a while, it was like everyone and their mom was making hand sanitizer cases, and they were just basically like copies of everyone else's, and that got a little annoying. But sometimes you get stuff like this that's like truly innovative, and it's just amazing. Like you can like make 3-dimensional items even. I mean I pretty much like up until a year ago, it was like a couple-year period where I was making a living making in the hoop embroidered stuff. All right, let me put the strap design on my machine. so I can get this all set up here. But even if you're not, oh, did I go too far? Turn, there we go. Whoops, I did the wrong thing. I'm still getting used to this machine. Okay, now I think it's correct. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I'm still getting used to how this machine works and everything, so sometimes I gotta really think about it. After a while, though, if you get used to a machine, you don't have to really think about it as you're loading everything on there. All right, so I can use my little 4x4 hoop for the straps. That's what I'm going to do. There we go. All right. Dory's saying it's absolutely amazing the things you can do in the hoop. That some designs are just so awesome. Yeah, yeah. I have some definite favorites. Like, I love Parker on the Porch. That's one of my all-time favorites. Of course, Urban Threads and Embroidery Library. They don't specialize in the hoop, but the stuff they do have is really cool. Oh, let me grab this. I don't know if you all know about freestanding lace. I should do a video on it because I don't think it gets enough attention. But this is a water-soluble stabilizer that I obviously have not washed away yet, but you can kind of see here. These are this is a pair of earrings, and it's just literally thread. You just hoop some water-soluble stabilizer, and then these designs are digitized to be kind of dimensional, a teensy bit. And isn't that beautiful? And then you just wind the same embroidery thread as you do in the bobbin. You don't use like bobbin thread for embroidery for these. So then it's the exact same on both sides. And then I was in the middle of doing a fan too, and then I ran out of the particular thread I was using, and then yeah, I got like a bunch of just, these are like random flower pieces in here. I need to finish these. They don't really do me a whole lot of good sitting in a bag, do they? But yeah, freestanding lace it's called. But those are all from either Urban Threads or Embroidery Library, which if you didn't know are basically the same company. Urban Threads used to be a lot edgier than they are now, but it's all right. Okay, so let me get the piece of felt on the back. Oh, I had a whole piece of felt in here I could have used. Oh well. All right. Those are my scrap drawers over there, which I hope everybody has because huge money saver and good for the planet. I have everything all sorted by color so then I actually do use it, because if it's like in a big old box or something like that, you're never gonna use it because it's just a big pain to try to dig through to find what you need. So I've got acrylic felt in one, and then vinyl scraps in the next one. Oh, this is just acrylic felt. So I mean, if you are in a pinch and you can just use stuff from a big box store, but I was just saying that the stuff that I've been using is just way better quality and not that much more expensive. Full disclosure, I mean, I do sell it, but I'm hoping maybe someone else will like sell it, because it's from the manufacturer is National Nonwovens, and they're the same ones who make all that wool blend felt that you see in that's being sold online. It's the same manufacturer, and it's very easy to open a wholesale account. So if you're going to be using felt in any sort of quantity, not even necessarily a large quantity, it might be worth your while to get a wholesale account with them. I can't recall what the opening order was. I think it was it was several years ago. I think it was like $150 opening order, and then you had to like buy like $75 worth per year. I mean, it's something like that. It's probably higher now, but let me grab your binder real quick. But yeah, they'll send you like a folder like this. They're based out of Massachusetts. But yeah, they'll send you all these little swatches. Like this is the wool felt here, and like there's like Benzie Design is one of the top ones on Etsy, I think. This is where it's all from. And then some of these are just like different. It'll tell you like, because when they say wool felt, there's always something else mixed in with it, unless it's true wool felt, and that's the itchy kind. But the stuff that people are using for crafts, it's gonna have like rayon blended into it. So that's what these all are. And this is the one that's got like actual. Isn't it a cute little sheep? So it just like depends on how much wool versus rayon. And then they have this. This is really nice too. This is like a bamboo rayon felt. All right, let me get to the acrylic. All right, so this is the stuff that I've been using for years, and for the time being, I'm selling in my Etsy shop. It's called Fiesta Felt. This is it comes in either like big old bolts or sheets, and then also like the standard 9x12" sheet that you're probably most familiar with. But yeah, you can see here all the colors that it comes in. I keep most of these on hand, and then they have other felts in here too. But yeah, see, my price list is from 2017, so it's not going to be up to date. But I will caution you though, if you do contact them and get their price list, you're going to be really excited, because it looks like, oh sweet, I can get these great felt sheets for like $1/4 a piece, and that's like half of what the crappy stuff is at the big box store. That does not include shipping. Oh, does it not include shipping? Oh, I'm actually gonna contact them. I've been meaning to send them an email, to ask them, like, is there any other way you can ship this stuff other than, I think it's UPS, if I remember correctly. Because it's like I end up paying like $80 for shipping on like $150 order or something like that. It's ridiculous. So yeah. But if the math works out for you, that's where like all that wool blend and acrylic felt, that's where it all comes from. So that might be worth your time and whatever, depending on what you're making. So anyhow, so this is the strap at the top. Just taking it off of the stabilizer, and then same process. Let me just peel away this tape that got a little too close. So same process to cut it out. Long, smooth strokes. I'm going about 1/8 of an inch from the edge. What'd be really cool is making this into an SVG file, because you technically don't need the stitching, it's decorative. If you could make that into an SVG file, and if you had like what is it, like the Silhouette Cameo 4, I think, does the heavier stuff, and then the Cricut Maker, maybe Brother Scanicut, I don't know, do any of you guys have those machines? I have like a Cameo like 1 over there, so super old. It does not cut anything like this, and I don't even use it anymore. I don't really do paper crafts at this point, so it really doesn't do me any good. All right, so anyway, got all this stuff. So here's the next part. All right, let me get my hole punch, my snaps, and then my press and everything. So let me do that. Yeah, the Cricut seems to be really popular. I know they've been having some issues lately, though. Like I guess they were gonna charge more for the design space or something like that. I don't know. I obviously didn't follow it too closely. All right. Okay, so I got my swivel clips here. I'm just going to see which one is a better fit. Okay, so not the 1/2 inch. This is it's either a 1 or a 3/4 inch. Okay, that's perfect. So I'm just going to put this on before I rivet this on. All right. Okay, so these are the teensy little 6mm, and I think that's what I'm going to use because I want to get rid of them. And I'll use the bigger size on the sides. I don't think I could use these on the sides because the felt makes it really thick. And I'll show you in a second how this goes on, but basically you're going through 3 layers of felt and 3 layers of marine vinyl on the side, and it is a little difficult. So let me just grab my rivet so I can put this away. So, oh, and I'm going to need to move this so you can actually see what I'm doing. You know, last night I was watching Crafty Gemini's stream. I hadn't watched it before. I just happened to catch it. And she had 2 cameras. So guess what I want now? I'm sure my husband will be thrilled. So my next trick will be to figure out how to convince him that he also wants some live streaming cameras. All right. Here's my rivet press, and it weighs a ton. Okay. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to need to do, oh, and you know what? I took this off before I did the little snap markers. Whoopsies. All right, well, if Shayna didn't need them, neither do I, right? Yeah, this will be fine. I'm just eyeballing it. So yeah, and then this is a leather punch from Harbor Freight. I'm sure they sell them in many other retailers if you don't have a Harbor Freight near you. I think it was $8. Oh, and then I have to punch the holes on here. Oop. There we go. So I just kind of squeeze it and then I twist it to make sure the whole thing came off, and then pull it out of there. And then I'm going to punch all these except the snap holes. Those I'm going to just pierce with an awl so that I don't run the risk of the snaps coming out. So these 3 sides, these 3 side ones are going to be riveted. All right, Shayna's saying a lot of people are having fun with StreamYard and multiple camera angles. Okay, I need to Google that. Thank you, Shayna. You know, and I have an almost 17-year-old daughter who is an avid gamer and was looking into the possibility of streaming like games on Twitch. So I need to utilize that source of knowledge as well. It's always nice when you got tech savvy youngins in your house, right? It's one less thing that I have to keep abreast of. So that's a really useful thing, you know. They may not always do the best at cleaning the house, but they'll keep you up to date on the latest technology, don't they? All right, just trimming all this junk away. I always got to clean everything up right away. I hate having a dirty work surface. Bugs me. All right, now this is a cam press. I have rivet dies in it, but if you're not familiar with them, they have dies for all kinds of things, including the snaps and stuff like that. Oh, Lysandra said her 9-year-old nephew helps her out. It's helpful. It's really nice, isn't it? It's like one less thing that you have to worry about being up to date on. But yeah, this die is for a larger rivet. You can probably see from here, but I was not going to buy a 6mm rivet die for only a couple little projects. So I'm just being very careful, and yeah, it turned out fine. Oh, the Wreck-It Ralph movie. That's great. Yeah, our kids were they were using computers when they were in diapers. Not the internet, but well, when they're like 4. But like I would sit there with them, obviously. But yeah. All right, so here is the little top handle. So let me get this out of the way. So I feel like this could be like really awesome if I had the right camera angles and just other technical stuff. If I had that all ironed out. So thanks for bearing with me while I figure this all out. Okay, so I just realized I did this way too quickly for it to be useful. All right, so I got this is like a 9 or 10 millimeter rivet. So here's the post. So for rivets, you got the little cap, and then you got the cap of the post, because these are double cap rivets. So I put it in this one first, and then it's kind of basically just going in order. Then I put it through this one, and then this one. So this ends up being a very tight squeeze, because then you have to push this together. Thank you, Lysandra. I'm trying. I think about these shows all week. I'm like, what can I do that I can show people that is actually useful and interesting at the same time? And you'd be surprised on how difficult that is. All right. Oh. Hello. All right. Okay. So there's the one side. See, I'm almost done. Look at that. All right. Make sure I'm doing this the right way. So this one, then this one, and then this one. Yeah, I got a whole list of different projects and stuff that I want to show you all. I have plushies on the list, and I think I'm going to get my my almost 17-year-old interested in sewing finally with the plushies. And then I also I've mentioned my mom on here before. She bought, I think it's the Brother SE625, I want to say, or maybe 425. I forgot what the model is. It's like the starter embroidery only machine. But I informed her yesterday that she's going to be on my YouTube channel, so I'm going to teach her how to use it. And I thought that that would actually work out really great, because she knows nothing about the machine. That she's been sitting collecting dust in her sewing room. So I think that's probably the situation for a lot of people. So if I go from like absolute beginner, and then I break down the video into different timestamps. So if you are at a point where like you have a basic idea of how the machine works, you just have some knowledge gaps, you can kind of skip around. Because I know it kind of sucks. I'll see videos where they're about something I'm interested in, but they're just so dang long. Like, I can't sit here this long, even though it's a topic I like and the YouTuber is interesting, but I just can't sit that long. All right, so I got this. Now I need to grab a snap, and I'm going to do that very quickly and put this away too. Yeah, this thing weighs a ton. Let me show you this too. All right, got it. Okay. And then while I was getting the snaps, I saw these. I got these on Amazon. If you have a school-age kid, you might have seen these before with like a mini plushie attached to them, and they hook them onto their backpacks. That might be a good option for this too. You just have to get something to connect this to this. So I'll have to think on that, but that's another possibility as well. All right, so now since we're going through a layer of marine vinyl, some stabilizer, and this somewhat thick acrylic felt, I'm going to use a long prong cam snap. So let me just grab that, and then, okay, now I'm overthinking this. Like, well, what color should I use? All right, I'm just gonna pick a white one because I don't have a perfect match. So this is what I do. Just one of these like standard containers. These are all my long prong cam snaps. I used to use these all the time. That's why I have so many. Now, not so much. I used to use them for the keychains, key fobs. It's another really, really ridiculously popular in the hoop item that was ridiculous for a while. Like, oh, enough keychains. But some were cool. So anyway, normally I'd use an awl for this, but this is pretty sharp, and I was just able to push right through it. So you can see the long prong, you get enough for this thing to grab onto this when you squeeze it together. All right, so I got the little stud, and then here's my pliers. And I think I've mentioned this a bunch of times. This is just a block of wood contraption that my husband came up with. So it just makes it so I don't have to go like this all the time. I just push down, so less fatigue. All right, one more step. Push this through. Like, see how easy this is? Like, once you get a rhythm going with this, you could whip out several of these in an hour, and yeah, they'd be great for a craft show. I'm probably going to make a couple for my Etsy shop and just see how they go. That's the one thing, like, with at least with me, with my Etsy shop, I just have no idea what's going to sell and what's not going to. So I just end up, like, making a couple samples of something that is fun for me to make, and I'll just put it in there, and if it sells, great, and if it doesn't, then someone's getting it as a gift. All right, so there we go. Make sure you have your snap going the right direction. Yay! This is adorable. Oh my gosh, look at it. Here, let me get this. I have a 18-inch doll. I'm gonna go get it. I just want to see. All right. And yes, it does warrant explanation as to why I have a doll. I'll get to that shortly. All right. I just want to see, like, scale-wise. All right. So this is an Our Generation brand. It's not like the American Girl doll because I just needed something for scale. All right. So let me see. You can see the 6mm rivets. This is what I got them for the jean jacket, because it's important. All right. Yeah, the scale is good. I like it. Here, let's put the smaller size. All right, the smaller one's a bit more of a challenge. But yeah. Yeah, so this would be a good, if you got like a kid or a niece or nephew, whoever, someone who likes these dolls, this would be a good gift, and this would be super unique. You can make a bunch of these. If you just need like a 9x12 sheet of this vinyl, if you're not like buying rolls of it. Oops. Yeah, you can just get like one sheet in a bunch of colors and make a whole bunch of these little purses and impress the crap out of some kid. But yeah, the reason I have this doll is because my niece, up until like a year ago, she had an American Girl doll, and she lives in Illinois and I live in Florida. So I wanted to make stuff for her doll, but I wanted to make sure, like, before I take all this time, because I was like making like really like lined jackets and fancy gowns and everything, I want to make sure that before I finished making this beautiful stuff and send it to her and get her all excited about it, they actually fit the doll. So this doll is $20 at Target, so that's why I have a doll. I just feel like it's like kind of weird. Like, why does this grown ass woman have a doll? That's why. All right, let me just check my list here. So I talked about the purses. Oh, and then I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do like a little mini series. Thank you, Lysandra. Where, since I mentioned my niece, and that's my youngest niece, she outgrew the dolls, and the stuff that I made for her, she's distributed to like other cousins on like her other sides of the family, whatever. But this stuff is fun to make. It is. Like, if you haven't made doll stuff before, it is fun. I recommend trying it. And it's cheap. Like, what I did once was I wanted to get some different colored denim. So I went on threadup.com, or you can just go to like any thrift store or whatever. And I went and looked up like the cheapest pair of jeans in the largest size. And I got some for like $1 or $2, because they were just like really ugly jeans. So no human would want to wear them. So I cut them up and I made a whole bunch of doll clothes out of them for like $2. So yeah, win. Oh, Shayna's saying, I can guarantee you no one thought that was weird. Some people use real life looking babies to take their product photos. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, and actually I was thinking about maybe eventually making, like, selling doll clothes that I've made. I just have to check what the particular patterns I'm using, because some allow it and some don't, and I don't want to get anyone's bad side. But if I was gonna sell them, I would need a doll, so people would be like, otherwise it'd be like, I ordered this jacket off Etsy and it doesn't fit me. What a scam. So they need to see it's for a doll. But anyway, yeah, so much fun. And then stuff like this, where like if you're like me and you keep like blowing all your money on fabric and then like using it as quickly as you get it in, you can make doll size bags, and they're cheaper. What else? Oh, I gotta show you two things: the ruler rack, and then I finished something. You can kind of see it already back here. All right, you guys are gonna see this before my mom even does. It's like, should I be insulted? Like, I always tell my mom to watch me on these lives, and she never does. It's like, is she telling me something? All right. There we go. So I showed you guys this fabric last week, and now it is a bag. This is the large size take a stand tote from Patterns by Annie. So let me show you the smaller size, which I've shown you before. So I'll keep it brief, because I'm sure at this point, if you're not tuning in for the first time, you're probably tired of seeing it. But so this is the small, and then this is the large. So there we go. Thank you. So yeah, this one is mine, and then this one is, this is for my mom. There are definite errors on here, but I'm trying not to be that kind of person who's like, can't accept a compliment and instead gotta be like, oh no, but I screwed up this and this, and this is wrinkled, and this is crooked, and this seam got messed up. I'm just gonna say thank you, Lysandra. A lot of love and time went into it. Here's a loose thread, though. I am going to cut that off. Yeah, and I think she's going to like it. My mom is not a perfectionist, so she will appreciate it. So yeah, this is the take a stand, and then these labels are from Kylie and the Machine, and you can get them all over the internet. She's from Australia, but you can buy them like on Etsy and stuff like that. But yeah, there's nice pockets on both sides. And she sews as well. That's why she got a sewing is my jam. And then this adjustable strap comes off. This size, it said that you could fit a small sewing machine in it. So I'm gonna try that and find out. And then the zipper comes off the end, so you can open it very wide, and then you can see here's the coordinating print, and then here is some mesh with fold over elastic. and I just sewed it in a couple random spots. So at least one of these, yeah, one of these would be big enough for a machine pedal if she does end up using it for that, but she might end up using it for something totally different. And then you zip it closed, and then you take this little tail, and there is this this little, whatever this is, this loop here, and then you can put this under it, and then see, and it's just tucked out of the way, so it looks nicer. So yeah. And then on the back side, it's got another pocket too. So yeah, so I'm excited. I might have to drop this off. Like normally I don't want to drop these snaps. There we go. Normally I see her on Wednesdays, but I might have to drop that off earlier. So, and then what was the one other thing? Crap. Let me check my list. Oh, the ruler rack. Let me show you this. All right. Okay. All right. So I've had one of these before, but my husband, he makes these and he has them in his Etsy shop. And he wanted to try a new style where he put more of these little grooves in here and then have them be closer together. So this is his prototype. So on this side, the grooves are 1 inch apart, but then they go to, I think, 3/4 of an inch over on this side. He just wanted to see how that would work out. And so far, I like it. And then he painted it for me, of course. It's got to be purple. Oh, it's under that take a stand. Oh my gosh. So long. I don't know exactly, but, oh, and then I put little felt feet on the bottom too. You can see that. Several hours. I took a lot of breaks. So I can't say for sure how long it was. But yeah, it took a while. It's really like large and kind of unwieldy, and that's the reason I'm giving for why the binding got a little wonky in spots. But if I had used maybe like a busy print for the binding, I think it wouldn't have been as noticeable. But again, my mom does not care at all about that kind of stuff. Like one time I made a tansy from Blue Calla. It's just like a zip top tote bag. And I was so bummed. Like, this turned out like crap. I hate this, And I showed it to her and she's like, oh, I love that bag. Can I have it? I'm like, yes, absolutely. And she loves it. And then she just was at the airport recently, and she said she was getting compliments on it. So I'm like, hey, that's great. Yeah, we are our own worst critics a lot of the time. But yeah, I love Bayani patterns. I really do. That was a little more on the difficult side, I would say. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this week's video, unless anyone has any questions or anything like that I could answer. I'm feeling kind of warm. This room is not well insulated, and even though it's apparently kind of a chilly day, it doesn't matter out here. It's always hot. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it is true. Like, pretty much anything I make for my mom, she thinks is the best thing ever. So that's great. Because I know, like, some people's moms are, like, really critical. So acknowledging that I'm especially grateful that she really appreciates the thought that counts, kind of thing. So I'm actually going to be making her another thing. I'll probably take a break and then come back out here later on. But it's another Bayani. It's a free pattern called Call Me. If you go on Bayani.com, it's a free download. I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can maybe make a video on that one, but there is one on the site already, so probably not. But I had one myself. It's like big enough for it's big enough for like a cell phone, and on the other side it's got a clear pocket and then a zipper pocket. And I wore it over to her house yesterday, and I figured she'd see it and want one because she goes for walks and bike rides a lot, and then, you know, she and I are always like wearing these stretchy pants that don't have any pockets on them ever. So I showed it to her and she's like, "Oh, I'd like one of those." I'm like, "I figured you would." So I have some scraps. I got everything all together. So it's gonna match the bag. But yeah, so I'm gonna make this for her. So I think after I finish that, then I'll bring a roll of gifts over. But yeah. Well, good. Yeah, I'm glad this was useful, Shayna. So I think it's about everything. All right, so I thank all you guys for watching, especially being so patient with me screwing up the original live, and then I'll amend the description for this video to put all the links of all the stuff that I mentioned in here. So hopefully next week I'll figure this all out. I'll ask my daughter. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. That helps me out a lot, and then you'll know when I'm on here next. All right. So take care, everyone. Bye. Thank you.